ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Minneapolis. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That's a start they can live with. 15 yards on their first play from scrimmage.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
Another big play as they get 28 out of that one.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 right at the 40.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep.
And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Mahomes now on first down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, and sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice, consistent gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes eluding the pressure right. Open man, it's the tight end, Kelsey. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Mahomes hitting his favorite target, Travis Kelsey, on the touchdown pass.
And the Chiefs get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that makes the score 7-0. So look at this. They got the 7-0 lead in the pocket, and they're going to try an onside kick. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. It's a squib kick fielded just inside the 20.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Here's Cook again.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Off the play fake, Cousins. He'll buy some time right. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 38, Cousins setting up the screen for Cook.
And he's going to get this down near the 25. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
First down, here's Cousins.
Throw caught there by Osborne. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10.
Back to the ground, Cook. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
Dalvin Cook.
A 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Vikings are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Joseph connects on the extra point, and we are tied at 7.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he will not bring it out. He'll just go down to a knee here for a touchback. And the ball will come out to the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Now Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle.
And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
On first down, Mahomes. They'll roll him out right. It's Kelsey on the ground.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
So from inside the 20, here's first and 10 at the 18.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. On the ground, this is the former Viking, Jerick McKinnon. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal. They'll try with McKinnon. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Jerick McKinnon. A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Chiefs will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. That is into the hands of Hockenson downfield.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one goes for 24 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Lets it fly for Thielen.
And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker, or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
Cousins again, sliding out of the pocket.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson.
A great play there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Vikings are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Kevin O'Connell choosing to lead his guys out there, and they'll go for 2. Cook, they'll try and run it.
And he is into the end zone, so they get 2 more on the board here just before halftime.
Time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away.
It's a squibber picked up around the 27.
And solid field position here to start as they get this out to the 40-yard line.
In a tie game, both sides are looking for something to give them an advantage. It often falls back on special teams. And that return, that could be the spark to untie the game.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with Mahomes under center, anything's possible. Watch out for the deep ball.
Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here heading to break. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, and ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard.
Yeah, you got to wait until that ball goes 10 yards. They did not. They hit it before, and that draws the flag every time.
And there's no doubt in my mind that converting an onside kick has never been tougher in the NFL with the new rules. So trying to get it to 10 yards, timing up perfectly, that's tough enough to begin with. But when you go ahead and grab it before it goes, you've got no shot then.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action now. Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Cousins. Flushed out right.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Now Cousins on 4th down. Rolling to his right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
50 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
From the 27, Mahomes. He finds McKinnon, complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Forced out to his left. Open man here. It's the tight end, Kelsey. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco.
A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Chiefs have taken the lead here in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Nwangu now from his end zone.
And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
There's still plenty of time here in the 4th quarter. In just a 1-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and 2-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Now Cousins.
Open man is Osborne. He's got him.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 1st down throw for Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
And good yardage there on 1st down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Cousins now from the 50. And Cook has it, left side.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. That's Osborne. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Cook up the gut. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
They run it again with Cook. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Handoff comes to Cook. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Cousins will try and throw. That's caught. And he will get into the end zone for 2. And this game now tied here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter.
Taken from about the 12. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47.
12 more yards there and another first down.
Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
2nd down and 3.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. And everybody thinking about the possible field goal on 4th. It would be 58 yards from here. Buying time to his left.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Could this be the drive that ultimately wins the game? How about the initiative he just took there? Running with it after he couldn't find a throwing lane, and he drove them into range for a game-winning field goal with that play. What an opportunity they've been presented to come through with the win.
And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. Everything right now resting on the right foot of Harrison Butker. This a long one from 54. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. And look at this. They're going to try an onside kick to begin overtime. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
So the Vikings going to get the first chance to possess the football as we are back underway here in overtime.
It's a squib kick fielded just inside the 20.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
All set up for him right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime. They've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind them in a big way.
They get that extra energy from them, but they've got to be careful not to let that adrenaline get away from them and play too fast or create errors of their own making. Use that energy, embrace it, but make sure they channel it the right way. They've got a chance to go downfield, score a touchdown, and end this game.
First down, here's the run with Cook.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. On second down, it's Cook again.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
55 rushing yards, rushing on 12 carries for him now.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Here's Madison running on first down.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for. A really good change of pace back.
They'll try the middle with Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13. Again, it's Cook.
And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line.
It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. They'll go Madison up the middle. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
9-yard line, second and 6. On the handoff, it's Madison.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here in OT. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking.
Touchdown, Vikings! Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone.
And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. First throw of overtime for Mahomes.
And that is nearly intercepted. Oh, that would have changed things here in overtime, but instead, it's just second down.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Oh, it's intercepted. That'll seal it.
Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. So it's a win for the Vikings, and it was Kirk Cousins, the veteran, who really led the way.
Yeah, you had to like what you saw. He was on point the whole game. Wound up going over 300 yards with 3 touchdown passes. That will definitely get the job done.